My name is Mohammed Zubair. For those of you who don't know me, I am from Bangalore, and I have completed my engineering here in Bangalore in 2005. And along with me, my co-founder, my partner, Pratik Sinha, started AltNews in the year 2017. And AltNews is a fact-checking website. In fact, one of the first fact-checking website here in India. So we were the first ones to start fact-checking before it was. Sorry.
Keep speaking, sir. I'll help.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the interesting thing about fact-checking and also about people like me and Pratik Sinha who started fact-checking is neither me nor Pratik Sinha are from journalism background. Both of us are from engineering background. We both completed our engineering here in Bangalore. I completed my engineering in 2005 in MSRIT, that is MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, and Pratik Sinha, my partner, also completed his engineering in 2004 here in Bangalore in BIT, I guess. So that is one thing I wanted to do. How we started. Let me take you how we started AltNews. Like what was the need for AltNews and why we thought it was important for us to start this AltNews, which is a fact-checking website. So in the year 2011-12, I was very active on social media. I mean, because I was working in a software company that is Nokia, I had enough time because most of my work was in the night to have a customer support, because most of our customers were from other parts of the world, that is in Finland and Japan and other countries. So I would usually work in the night, and most of the in the daytime I would be free. So in the year 2012, I was very active on social media because of one unfortunate incident which had happened in Delhi. I remember in 2012 and 13, there was one Nirbhaya rape case which had happened, and there were a lot of youngsters like us who were very active those days. And until then, I didn't know who my chief minister was, who my MLA was. I had zero knowledge on politics and current political affairs. So unlike many of you, I was I was zero in all this. But thanks to the social media then, and because we were very active on social media in 2014, I used to put out a lot of comments on pages which I thought were neutral. And a lot of people like my comments, my neutrality, and the comments what I did. But unfortunately, after 2014, the people I followed, the influencers I followed, the Facebook pages I followed slowly started drifting. I mean, the views, the posts, and the things which they would targeted earlier, that is in 2012-13, they started liking the same in 2014. For example, if they were against corruption in before 2014, they would justify corruption after 2014. That was a little disturbing, and that is probably when I started associating from those pages, and I started a satirical page in 2014 after the general elections, and it was a satire page, political satirical page called Susu Swami, or Unofficial Subramaniam Swami. And slowly, I guess that was one of the pages. There were two pages I remember. One was The Truth of Gujarat, and there was another page which was mine, that is Unofficial Subramaniam Swami, which used to put political content, current content, I mean, as in which wrote about current affairs, which wrote about politics, and which also spoke against the misdoings of the media and the bias from the media and the anchors. And slowly, because of the satire and because of the way I wrote and my colleagues wrote, our page started growing, and by 2016 or so, I had around 7-8 lakh followers on Facebook, and my partner who ran one more page called The Truth of Gujarat, he had around 4-5 lakh followers by then. But this was actually troubling us because before we started fact-checking website, initially we wanted to come up with a website which would probably report on rural India. For example, most of the mainstream media across India, be it in Hindi or in English, 90% or I would say even more, would concentrate on incidents which are happening in and around Delhi or metro cities. 99, I would say 90, more than 95% of the news channels, or be it regional news channels, are not covering things which are happening in rural districts, rural villages, and difficulties faced by the people, common man, be it from any religion, they have been completely ignored even till date. So we initially thought we'll come up with a website which would probably focus on rural India and people and the difficulties faced by people in rural India. But unfortunately, because of the finances and because of the resources crunch, we could not scale it, and we thought we'd drop this idea, and we came up with this thing called fact checking. And Alhamdulillah, it is now well known across India. We did not expect this website to grow so soon. Also, I would also thank people in power to making alt news and me famous by whatever chanting they've been doing since start. So this is the journey of alt news. I mean, if the media, be it from 2014 or even otherwise, if the media had been doing their job of reporting honestly, people like us would be doing. I mean, it would be continuing to do our software engineering, or maybe start continuing with our software jobs. It is people like them who have forced a normal person like me or Pratik Sinha and many others to quit software jobs and get into the profession, which is actually difficult and which is actually challenging and which is also very interesting. Yeah, thanks to them for that too. So before all that, it's easier to say we've started Alt News, but I remember Alt News is a very small organization. We are around say 15 to 16 members. We've been facing a lot of challenges for the bold work what we've been doing for years. But today we need more and more such platforms across India to represent the marginalized people from the community of SC/ST and from the minorities. The newsrooms today are particularly, it is particularly important for people from Muslim community to get into, to have more and more representation in the medias from the Muslim community. It is because this will improve the standard of coverage. It will actually, the journalists from the Muslim background or the SC/ST background would probably be more interested in covering issues which are related to the community, difficulties faced by inside the community, positive news from the community. I mean, all this is missing for now. Most of the debates, what you see on news channels, are about Hindu-Muslim debate. Even if there is nothing about it, they'll make sure they'll invite a few, 2 or 3 so-called self-proclaimed Maulanas who claim to support for the Muslim community, who claim to be voice of the Muslim community. Similarly, they would call 2 or 3 sadhus or maybe people with saffron clads. They would be invited to the news channels. And most of the debates are nothing related to the current affairs, which would probably help uplift the community or from both the community. Their main reason is to get these Maulanas and self-proclaimed Maulanas, I would say, and the sadhus, self-proclaimed sadhus, and make sure they have a fight. There was a recent clipping by someone from the RSS who was invited by the Muslim organizations to have a speech, and he once told, there was a news channel who regularly invited me, and they, for some reason, because the TRP was less, he was asked to speak against the Maulana, against the Maulana's Dadi, against the Maulana's Hulia, and the person saying this was from the RSS, and he actually resisted, and he finally decided not to go to the debate. And since then, he says, he claims he's not gone to that the news channel since then. So this is the job of the news channels, the news anchors, because they are nobody to watch. There are people who don't watch them, and for them to, for people to watch news channels, they have to create dramas, they have to create artificial fights. They have to make sure to show as if like there are differences between a lot of Hindus and Muslims. That is, as we were discussing inside, there are 2 things. Like, by the time the truth is tying its lace, the falsehood would have traveled the whole earth. So they want the TRP. They want more and more people to view, and which is why they want a sensationalization of the channels, which is what they've been doing. So, but I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is we want more and more participants from the Muslim community to join the media. That doesn't mean that I wanted more and more people who misrepresent Islam or misrepresent my community. We want more and more people. We anyways have a lot of representations who in the form of anchors, or who in the form of panelists come to the media, and we thought they would probably uplift the community, they will speak for the community, but unfortunately they've been demeaning our community and taking us community down. But what I'm talking about is otherwise. We want more and more people who want to get into the media, who wants to report the truth, who wants to debunk misinformation, who wants to report positive sides of both the communities. This is what I've been talking about. So there's one more thing which I want to talk about is, okay, for example, I'm talking about the scholarship. It's very important in this age. There are lots and I would say thousands and lakhs of people who are in need of scholarships. There are a lot of talents, as discussed earlier, from Muslim community who wants to strive well, who wants to compete, who wants to do higher educations, but unfortunately because of the economical conditions, because of the lack of funds from within the family, they are not able to grow. Let me take my own example. We are 5 in a family. I'm the eldest. I have 4 more siblings. And if it was not for the Muslim organizations and the scholarship by the community members and the organizations, I would not have completed my engineering, or my siblings would not have completed their medical and engineering courses. So it is very important for organizations, Muslim organizations or private organizations or individuals also to help a lot of Muslim candidates who are already excelling in this field, to probably encourage them by helping with the facilities of, say, financial aid and also scholarship. So it is very important for all the community members to join hands, and they've been doing for years, but I want more and more community leaders, community people from different groups to help maybe come up with the scholarship schemes, to help there are lots of people in rural areas who want to pursue education. For example, they would want to get into not just engineering and medical fields, they want to go into media fields. There are people who wants to go into advocacy. There are a lot of other interesting things through which they can actually help the community, help the country grow, help the society, which is probably why I think it is important for a Muslim community is important to also donate. Not just to, it is important to donate to madrasas and masjid, but it is equally, I feel, important for the community members and the community leaders to concentrate on, say, people who are coming up with education for society. For example, scholarship for media, scholarship also help for news channels or news anchors, news channels and websites who are speaking for the community, not just for the community, for everybody, for the people. So I think it's more and more important. Apart from that, I would also want the youth. For example, we've seen an example in 2020-21 when there was media who were trying to demean a lot of Muslim community, people from the Muslim community, saying these are thug jihadis, these are the people who've been spreading corona. I think it was, I think Muslim community as a whole, not just from Bangalore. For example, there were lots and lots of NGOs from Bangalore, be it Mercy Mission and lots of NGOs who stood by everybody and who were working, for example, for the start, from the to helping people to get the cylinders, to getting people admitted, for people to transfer from one, for example, the COVID warriors. There were multiple things we've been doing, not just to one community, but people from larger community. For example, from the Hindu community, there were people from across India, from Muslim community, who've been doing this. I would like more and more people to come up with, for example, including your studies, including your job, for example, engineering, medical. I want more and more students to also be actively participate in social activities for the community and for any other social events. So I would like to thank everybody for inviting me. I would especially like to thank Falcon Group for inviting me, and thank you so much.